1930 Stockholm. The 42-year-old dark-skinned Indian stepped onto the stage to receive the Nobel Prize for Physics. With his turban and dark skin, he stood out in a sea of white faces. As he looked around the auditorium and the applause, he realized that he was sitting under the Union Jack and that his nation, Bharat, did not even have a flag of her own. That made him break down. Chandrashekhar Venkata Raman, popularly known as Sir C V Raman, the only Bharatiya citizen who have won a Nobel Prize in Science. The other Bharatiyas who won Nobel are Hargobind Khorana, Subramanya Chandrashekhar, his nephew incidentally, and Venkataraman Ramakrishnan, who were born in Bharat but won for their work as US citizens. He was also the first Asian to get the Nobel Prize in Science for his Raman Effect, which experimentally demonstrated that the light quanta and molecules do exchange energy, which manifests itself as a change in the color of the scattered light. It was one of the most convincing proof for quantum theory of light. Albert Einstein said, C V Raman was the first to recognize and demonstrate that the energy of photon can undergo partial transformation within matter. I still recall vividly the deep impression that this discovery made on all of us. Such importance was the scientific world gave for his work. It was not just physics. He published around 475 papers on topics ranging from astronomy to meteorology to physiology. His work on the mridangam brought to light the acoustical knowledge possessed in ancient India. This genius Bharat Ratna was born on November 7, 1888 in a small village, Thiruvannaikaval near Tiruchi on the banks of the Kaveri. His maternal grandfather Saptarishi Sastri was a renowned Sanskrit scholar and his parents were R. Chandrashekhar Iyer and Parvati Ammal. While he was a naturally brilliant student, some books influenced him much more. One was Edwin Arnold's The Light of Asia on Gautam Buddha that influenced him spiritually. Euclid's Elements kindled his interest in geometry, and Hermann von Helmholtz The Sensations of Tone on Music and Musical Instruments. After passing MA with gold medal, he could not pursue his interest in science. He joined as Assistant Accountant General at Kolkata in 1907 on the insistence of his father by topping the financial service exam. His interest was in science, hence, when he chanced on the Indian Association for the Civilization of Science, IACS, he joined it enthusiastically. IACS was actually set up by Mahendra Rao Sarkar, one of the brightest minds of his time and the only second one to get the MD from Kolkata University, and started the association for the propagation of science and inculcated a culture of research. C V Raman was in fact confident of winning the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1928 itself for his work on spectroscopy, and was quite disappointed when he found out that he had been bypassed. He would, however, win the Nobel for Physics later in 1930. Apart from his discovery of scattering of light, he did notable work in the areas too, and those areas are remarkable. One of Raman's effect was on the scientific basis of musical sounds. He studied the acoustics of various violin and related instruments, including Indian stringed instruments and water splashes. He even performed what he called experiments with mechanically played violins. Raman also studied the uniqueness of Indian drums. His analysis of the harmonic nature of the sounds of tabla and mridangam were the first scientific studies on Indian percussions. After retirement, he worked on establishing the Raman Research Institute in Bangalore, investing all his life savings, including the Nobel Prize winning amount. The land was gifted by the Mysore Maharaj Short of funds, he started a company called Travancore Chemicals and Manufacturing that manufactured potassium chlorate for the matchstick industry. With 4 factories and a good dividend, he managed to earn enough to support his institute financially. He also founded the Indian Academy of Sciences, Bangalore in 1934 to discuss on scientific research and symposia on subjects. While Raman believed that science was the solution to most of India's problems, he felt that India should not be dependent on others for ideas. He encouraged the Indian youth not to lose spirit and courage, a spirit of victory that would give us our rightful place. He had a holistic view of science and felt nature had the best answers for it. On November 21, 1970, he passed away at the age of 82, but not before leaving a rich legacy. The physics department at University of Kolkata and IISc were both the products of his hard work and dedication. He was a great institution builder too, from Raman Research Institute to IACS, and he is one of the founders of the Indian Science Congress.